Alright. Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Simmons and Simply Hunter. This game taking place here on Echo Isle version 2.2. On the top right hand side of the map, we have Simply Hunter spawning as, well, the random pink, pink Night Elf over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Simmons has spawned as the red orc on the top left. Had to change some colors over on the overlay just to not confuse me later on. Things opening up. There's that altar of elders. There's a close by Moonwell, and off to the south we see an Ancient of War, which will most likely be used to clear out this mercenary renegade wizard creep camp. Back on this side here, we're looking at Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow, Barracks, no War Mill as of yet, so we don't know if it's going to be Blade Master, Farseer, or some other variation. Now remember, Simmons is playing a little blind here. Simply Hunter did go random, and because of that, he doesn't quite know what his build order is going to look like, or even hero choice should be until later on, until he sees a little bit of scouting. For all you guys out there, first-time watchers, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. If you like WarCraft 3 or just want to support the channel, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Comment, thumbs up, all of that jazz. It does help me out. I'm currently trying to get some sponsorship for the channel as well. You know, views are down from the heyday, obviously, but getting sponsorship from the channel would definitely help me and inspire me to keep going, as we see a wisp now hiding on the far side here just to keep track of what the hero is going to be. Meanwhile, Peon here taking quite a bit of damage. Is it going to try and train up that last mercenary? He's attacking back, and the wisp and the Peon ends up getting taken out. Alright, so the Peon gets taken out. Blade Master going up against Keeper of the Grove. The Ancient of War rerouted itself. Not sure what's going on here. Going to instead, bring some treants over. So this is Simply Hunter's strategy now. Instead of going straight after, he is going to try and bring things over from the other location. One very low hit point treant backing away, going to get in position. This Ancient of War should perhaps be uprooted and moving on over as well. This guy's not going to take any real damage whatsoever, as the Blade Master comes back across here. Last hit on the Poacher. Poacher gets taken down, and the Blade Master is now off to the north. Right. So Simply Hunter also may not be nearly as clean with his early creeping. Remember, well, when you play random, that means that you don't get to play every race on every map nearly as often, or the same race on every map nearly as often, so you're not quite sure what the creep patterns and your strategy should be. Keeper of the Grove now back to try and put some pressure on that Blade Master. Blade Master is retreating back here. You can see a couple of wisps are, well, healing back up, as there's grunts now making their way back over. So the Blade Master is trying to, well, intercept some of these wisps, and there's going to be one wisp very, very low on hit points, down to 15. Is he going to jump inside of that gold mine? Yes, he is. So inside the gold mine they go, and this is just playing whack-a-mole with the, well, Night Elf gold mine. It is going to turn into a large amount of damage for Simmons, though, as Simmons is going to be forced to retreat back. Great micro by Simply Hunter to ensure that his wisps stay alive while being able to inflict damage on that Blade Master. Down to the south side here, we can see Wisp and Ancient of War still just training up units. There are multiple Moonwells down, and now the Keeper of the Grove really needs to get to level 2 in order to be able to engage, get some entangles off onto some of the onto units, and be able to continue that creeping. However, that Blade Master's harassment did work out fairly well, as Simmons is now retreating back. He didn't sell his Scroll of Town Portal, and he doesn't have any healing salves, as we are now adding in that War Mill. Keeper of the Grove going to retreat back here, perhaps heal up, get a little bit of mana, and then once more move on out. Now, it is going to be Entangle. You can see that the Blade Master has taken quite a bit of damage, down to 42 hit points. It looks as though that Forest Troll will get taken out. Blade Master will be forced to retreat back to the Voodoo Lounge, and the Keeper of the Grove, well, is not going to catch the Blade Master unaware, as he's instead going after the Ogre Warrior and Ogre Magi Creep Camp here. Blade Master pretty much has to get out of jail free card with that healing, or with that wind walk anyway. So always very difficult to try and do anything here. Healing salves should be placed down onto the heroes now, as healing while fighting, time is always of the essence. Keeper of the Grove did pick up a potion of invulnerability, that maximum invul potion there, giving 15 seconds, which seemingly lasts forever and a day in a major battle. Coming back through, Keeper of the Grove desperately wants to get to level 3, just 11 experience shy. Meanwhile, Blade Master and Grunts are healing up nicely. Blade Master, what is he going to do here? Well, it looks as though, are we going to see some damage? Yes. Archers, are we going to see a surround? Yes, we are. Shadow Hunter quickly surrounded in this spot and could be in quite a bit of trouble. All right, already down to 200 hit points. There's a healing wave bouncing around, but now there goes another entangle. Is he going to buy a potion of healing? Yes, he does. He's going to have another time for another healing wave, and this is just burning through a bunch of things, though. There's another healing wave right there, as that damage is trying to rack up. All right, down to 109 hit points. Is he going to get another healing wave? That is the question. Down to 2, down to 1. Archers is going to be able to finish it off, and the Shadow Hunter ends up staying alive. Keeper of the Grove forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal, as it was getting dangerously close with the Blade Master. You don't want to lose the Keeper of the Grove to a critical strike. He didn't want to use the Invul Potion. Using the Invul Potion perhaps could have allowed him to finish off that Shadow Hunter, or perhaps have the if the Keeper of the Grove was at level 3, that could have been enough. There's a big breath of fire across all those units there. Purge Archers are going to start pelting down Keeper of the Grove, and now coming in to perhaps try and get to level 3, bring in some treants as well, as the Archers in the back side now going to make its way over. We are looking at classic Druids of the Talon by Hunter. All right, so DOTS, Druids of the Talon, are an old school strategy for Warcraft 3 that had fallen out of favor back, I would say, in 2020. Druids of the Talon, with that Cyclone, constantly picking up units, always a dangerous combination, as generally Orc players, their units are higher in supply. Being able to pick up raiders and grunts and heroes is a bigger deal than being able to pick up, say, archers and Druids of the Talon, taking them out of the fight. All right, there's a breath of fire there. Brewmaster continuing the fight here. He's got to be careful. There is a little bit of damage. Are we going to see Fairy Fire? No Fairy Fire onto the... There's Fairy Fire onto the Blade Master now, so significantly reduced armor, as they could try and turn back around and fight. Archer is going to perhaps try and do a little bit of a poke back as well, as we are seeing some creeping still getting underway. Shadow Hunter, well, goes to the southern side here. I believe he picked up... Nope, picked up a Scroll of Healing. We do see one Watchtower by Simmons for protection, as the Blade Master could catch this Ancient of War, well, out in the middle of the battlefield here. Perfect timing, and being able to have that Ancient of War tank a little bit of damage before placing down some Serpent Wards and then going for the fight. Shadow Hunter here, sitting at level 2. It will be interesting to see if we look at level 2 Serpent Wards or level 2 Healing Wave, as both sides' armies are about the same. Keeper of the Grove does have an Orb of Venom that is important to note, being able to deal that damage over time, as a couple of Wisps are being brought over to the battlefield, interestingly enough. All right, are we going to see some damage, entangle, something to go onto the Shaman here? Blade Master, well, there is an entangle onto that Shaman now. There's a quick purge, yeah. Not quite sure what Hunter was thinking there. Out of all of the targets to try and entangle, you don't entangle the one to target that can, in fact, break free from that ability. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? Oh, there's a deny going back the other way, so no experience given there, as we see a little bit of damage once more. It was a purge onto the grunt, and now the grunt is, well, just getting body blocked by the panda and gonna get taken out. Meanwhile, back across here, the Blade Master coming across, as we see a Goblin Tinker as the third and final hero. Goblin Tinker, Pocket Factory. This is, in fact, very, very old school for Hunter, as Hunter's going to be being brought back over now. We see some, well, great hauls. There's a Cyclone picking up that Blade Master. Pocket Factory factory now down. A little bit of damage can be done as the Blade Master is, well, gonna go ahead and temporarily hide. Wisps still in the battle, or out here across the battlefield, interestingly, as the Panda and the Keeper of the Grove could try and clear out a difficult creep camp on the opposite side of the battlefield. In comes some treants, and here we go. There's the engagement. Panda gonna go ahead and fight and try to pick apart some of these units. The battle here is just odd, as we're gonna be looking at two Druids of the Talon getting caught trying to coming out from home. Raiders are getting purged back down. More Druids of the Fairy Dragons now getting added in, as the Raiders are going to be pounding away at the Moonwell front door. This potentially could be very bad news. The army needs to walk all the way back here. No Scroll of Town Portal, as it was burned earlier, to try and save that Keeper of the Grove in that failed attempt to surround the Shadow Hunter. Raiders now coming across here. Moonwell going to get taken. Another Moonwell going to get taken down. Druids of the Talon are purposely retreating back, but Hunter is now upside down on supply by a bit, 47 over 30, and that could continue to happen here as we're looking at a couple of entangles go down once more. All right, are we going to see some lasting damage? There's a Fairy Fire onto the Raider to keep track of his position. 47 over 30 supply compared to 38 over 51, and trying to rebuild and get some watchtowers up here, perhaps get that Great Hall down, as we are still at Stronghold. Alright, one Moonwell will get up. It's going to still be 47 over 40 supply. Need another Moonwell before anything can really happen. And now we're looking at the Goblin Tinker, Panda, and Keeper of the Grove making their way to the south. The majority of the creep camps have been cleared out, or haven't been at least touched. Only the fringe wings are currently out here. Blade Master looking to see if there's an easy target anywhere. Gonna buy a Tome of Retraining, interestingly. All right, so Tome of Retraining, perhaps to get mirror image earlier. And over Windwalk, mirror image, a much better ability when you are trying to, if you are worried about entangle. And there is that mirror image there. And now going to go ahead and split. All right, there's a Breath of Fire. Drunken Haze on to that Blade Master. Blade Master now down to 600 hit points. Cyclone picking up the wrong one. As the Druid of the Talon, this Druid of the Talon should be, back in Druid form. No real reason to be up in the air at all. All right, we're going to see, the Orc Burrows do have fortified defenses. There's a Breath of Fire going to try to blow on through. And, it's going to be the Panda and the Goblin Tinker, perhaps, who are able to deal damage against these buildings. All right, Goblin Tinker going to try and finish things off here. Are we going to try to drop a Pocket Factory anywhere? That is the question, as we are seeing a couple of entangles. Entangles, purges, and units just trying to stay alive here. Blade Master getting picked up into the air here. Both sides still fighting. Druids of the Talon not being able to use Cyclone effectively on the Blade Master, because it's difficult to figure out which one is the right one. All right, both sides still fighting. Why'd the sheep cross the road to get in the mirror image's way, apparently, as we see a level up on the Blade Master. All right, Keeper of the Grove continuing the fight, ensnare or entangle or ensnare onto that Keeper of the Grove, forcing a retreat back as the Brewmaster now forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. All right, is the Goblin Tinker going to stay alive? Yes, he will, being able to teleport out. 38 over 40 supply. Hunter now finally able to train up some units since he, got below that supply count. Finally building up another Moonwell while having a Tree of Life down here on the southern side to try and entangle a gold mine. Meanwhile, Simmons has set up his gold mine as well. It has just started mining as the economic game is getting underway. 14 minutes into this game, no clear victor as of yet. Blade Master retreating back, and Nightcrawlers as well. Those are going to get cleaned up here. Shadow Hunter did opt to go for level 2 Serpent Wards. Are we going to see what is this? All right, gonna try and get a Cyclone to there. There's a Purge. Are we gonna see another Cyclone? No, we are not. There's an Entangle instead. And now, negative armor coupled with some range damage. And the Treants, are they gonna get attacks off? No, they don't. They don't get the attacks off in time, as the Raider now slowly healing back up, recovering from some of that range damage. Meanwhile, Mirror Image has caught the entangling of the gold mine on the far side here. Another mirror image off to the north, doing a bit of scouting. Real Blade Master back at home. Well, just fighting next to all of these, fighting next to the proximity here. All right. Blade Master Illusion, that mirror image, gonna do some superficial damage as we see a battle now coming across in the center, purging down there. Goblin Tinker gets up to level 2. Are we gonna see Pocket Factory? No, we're gonna see that natural upgrade. Pocket Factory now out on the battlefield. I thought we were going to say the Rockets, but no, we're not going to see that. Archer going to get taken down easily. Finally, no, down to 2 hit points. Somehow still staying alive and still continuing to be able to poke. Meanwhile, Serpent Wards are getting cleaned up quickly as we see another the Blade Master, the real one. There's another mirror image, trying to figure out which one is the real one. Always a difficult proposition, especially in the middle of a crazy, crazy battle. Oftentimes, it almost feels like if the mirror images didn't get the critical strike, it would be difficult to figure out. Well, because the mirror images can critical strike, it's obvious when you see a big number like 200 hit points, but 200. Well, Archer is still standing alive. You know that that is not the real one. But to make that judgment call and to be that observant in the moment, well, can be difficult. Wisp going to be jumping inside that entangled gold mine here. Blade Master, Shadow Hunter, level 4, level 3, going up against a level 3, level 3, level 2. Panda and a Brewmaster now heading off to the north, perhaps to clear out the last Rock Golem creep camp up at the north side of the map. All right, there you go. There's a boulder to the Forest Troll Berserker. That's going to be some big damage. Mud Golem also as well. Forest Troll Berserker going to try and retreat back. Well, no real reason to offer up low hit point units to the Blade Master and, well, that Orc army. Hey, Metaphysics, how you doing? All right, level 4 now on the Keeper of the Grove. Level 2 still on the Tinker. Remember, there were 3 heroes for the Night Elf side. I thought the Brewmaster could have leveled up, but no, it's not quite enough experience. Yeah. Keeper of the Grove, Goblin Tinker, Panda. Good day. Hello, everyone. You've been better? Yeah, I've been better too. Trying to figure out what to do next. Once again, still trying to get some sponsorship deals in the works to help keep the channel growing, or keep the channel going and growing. So, yep. Please continue to support the channel however you can. Watching, liking, subscribing. Yeah, maybe I'll have affiliate links eventually. I don't know. Anyways, coming back around, Keeper of the Grove going to try and, well, fend off this attack here. That Pocket Factory extremely powerful in that it causes a zoning effect, allowing these Druids of the Talon to be somewhat protected because the Blade Master cannot get through to that point easily. However, the Goblin Tinker is very far deep, down to 290 hit points. Has to be very careful, has to double back around, transferring of that potion of invulnerability. There's a Breath of Fire, a beautiful Breath of Fire there, as the Goblin Tinker is still in this battle. All right, continuing the fight here, we see an entangle. Goblin Tinker down to 121 hit points. Is he going to use the potion of invulnerability? He is now backing away. All right, so long, a drawn-out fight here. Panda is trying to continue this battle. Are we going to see a potion of healing, dual scrolls of healing trying to be brought over? And are we going to see him just walk in to give a scroll of healing to everyone in the fight? All right, that Goblin Tinker, very, very gutsy to do something like that. Illusion forcing that Goblin Tinker to use that potion of invulnerability just a little bit earlier. And still, it's still going to be a little bit of time before we can see that scroll of healing used again. No, I take it back. Scroll of healing used again right there to keep all of the units alive. 46 supply compared to 54. Both sides still fighting. Panda does not have enough for a Breath of Fire. Potion of invulnerability came to an end. Hit points came to an end. Brewmaster perhaps could have Breath of Fired some units down and given level 3 to the Goblin Tinker. That would have been a beautiful save, but no such save at all. Off to the north, though, Hunter is setting up this expo, setting up this secret moon base off to the north. Common tactics for Night Elf is to just try and set up bases everywhere, or rather, common tactic for Moon, one of the most famous Night Elf players, is to just out-expand your opponent. We'll see if this does come to be, well, profitable, as it does need to mine about 600 gold before it is profitable here. We're looking at 57 over 70 supply, and the orc army with raiders is already going to come across this space. 57 over 70 supply compared to 66 over 72. Things are not looking good for Hunter at this point. He's getting a lot of units, but he doesn't really have critical mass on these Druids of the Talon, as these Druids of the Talon are not coming out with maximum mana, right? Coming out with 160 mana right there, and not being able to come out and do some cyclones. That's got to be, I think that was a balance change from many years ago, right? Yeah, I would. Yeah. All right, coming back through. Well, or maybe I'm just misremembering. I can totally be misremembering. All right. Oh, wow. Mirror Images actually getting in a couple of attacks there and being able to take down a Wisp or two with those critical strikes. So Mirror Images actually getting the job done there. Meanwhile, we're looking at mining still happening. 66 supply compared to 60. More Moonwells should be placed down. There's additional Moonwells now, as the expansion now going to be, well, the expansion is now going to be pressured by Illusion. All right, you can see that the Entangled Gold Mine is taking a little bit of damage here. And, well, yeah, taking a little bit of damage there. The attack speed is all there. Are we going to see some Fairy Fire here to try and, well, focus down some of these units? What would be funny is if Simmons should not let these Mirror Images get taken down. Remember, Mirror Images still give experience, so he could accidentally give level 3 to the Goblin Tinker without doing much here. There's another Goblin Tinker about to get taken down. Level 3 now on the Tinker, given to by those Mirror Images attacking. We'll see if that one odd level makes a difference in the upcoming fight. 61 supply compared to 66, but Simmons is sitting on a large bank of gold, ready to spend when the time comes. We also see a Voodoo Lounge straight in the center of the map, perhaps going to try to buy some invulnerability potions or some other items here. You can see the Shadow Hunter nearing level 5 as the Panda now going after some of these targets here. We do see Druids of the Claw joining in on the fight as well. There's those Mirror Images trying to attack, and we can see, well, Simmons very close by on the other side of the trees, doing a little bit of something. True Shot Aura, that is going to be big for all of the Druids of the Talon who normally cannot deal any bonus damage. What you see is what you get. But no, with that True Shot Aura, that could, well, spell a little bit of a different story. Are we going to see some entangles? We're going to see some fighting. And now there's a Druid of the Claw. There's some Mirror Image. Druid of the Claw going to be coming back around. Perhaps we're going to see some rejuvenation on a Goblin Tinker and then transform into a bear. All right, trying to fight back the other way. You see some Lightning Shield quickly being cast down. Well, these Mirror Images are pretty much just going to get cleaned up quickly, as the Ancient of War tanking quite a bit of damage, as we see some, well, mana flares as well. All right, Breath of Fire, Brewmaster draining down all of that mana. Are we going to see a Staff of Preservation? I don't believe Druid Keeper of the Grove does have a Staff of Preservation. Mirror Images getting picked up here. And now we see the Orb of Lightning purging down one of those treants as well. Both sides are trying to get into proper position. Simmons has 2,000 gold in the bank, but is not, and is still sitting in the middle of the upkeep. I don't know why he doesn't go for more Raiders at this point, or for more range units perhaps if he's concerned. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter still has a potion of mana, so he's still going to have a little bit of mana to place down these level 3 Serpent Wards who are able to deal so much damage. Brewmaster coming back the other way. Tinker falls at level 3, and Simmons is in the driver's seat now, as Hunter, losing that level 3 Goblin Tinker, loses the Pocket Factory, which does, opens things up and opens up exposure. One Druid of the Claw about to get taken down. The Staff of Preservation by Hunter not being used effectively, and perhaps one of those things where when you try to play random, you don't have access to all of the ability, or you're not as clean and fluid with all of the different strategies available to you to that particular race. Level 4, there's a Breath of Fire. The Panda doesn't really do that much damage with that Breath of Fire there. Didn't get the level up that he needed on the Brewmaster and that Keeper of the Grove. Both sides still continuing to fight, cycloning that Blade Master, who is just shy of level 6. But I think this is simply going to be delaying the inevitable. Wait, what's this? Simmons is allowing Hunter to continue to mine. Okay, there was a tactical retreat there, and Simmons is not stopping that extra base off down to the south. He had triple serpent wards. Did he forget that his opponent was mining gold here? I have no answer for that at all. 53 over 70 supplied. Simmons perhaps playing with his food like a lion, saying, you know what, I still have 1200 gold in the bank. I'm setting up a base off to the north. I want you to bring a fight to me, type of thing. But even this base out here feels more like an outpost than anything else. It doesn't feel particularly strong or a definitive place for Night Elf to try and fight. Blade Master gets up to level 6. Are we going to see Bladestorm? No, we are not. Instead, we see a Cyclone, or in order to, well, back away. Meanwhile, the Druids of the Talon simply try to retreat back. They were caught out in open field. They're going to go ahead and land back down, try and fight again, as we're looking at the Druids of the Talon doing a little bit of a dance back and forth. There's that Bladestorm, and it is going to find some targets here, including a Brewmaster. Brewmaster down to 300 hit points, 200 hit points, and now finally retreating back. Meanwhile, Raiders are going to try to dive in. There's that Scroll of Town Portal, a tactical retreat, and the Goblin Tinker now back out on the battlefield. We are now, well, we are one base to one base right now. Hunter still has 10 minutes of mining left at his expo, but I don't know if this game has 10 minutes left in it. 54 supply compared to 50. Simmons is actually mining more gold per second. That fight actually went fairly well for him. Yeah, that fight went fairly well for him there. So if we see a double level up, a level 5 Keeper of the Grove, a level 5 Panda, maybe the Breath of Fire can do enough, but that would also open up level 3 healing wave to keep Raiders and other units alive. Keeper of the Grove catching a Kodo Beast out of position. That is going to be a big level up. Level 5 now on that Brewmaster. And if you just keep on catching units in transition, perhaps that's enough. Simply, Hunter now finally being forced to defend this Tree of Life here, and this might be that final battle. All right, here we go. There's the engagement. Tree of Life gets taken down. Is 2 bases versus 0 now. Tactical retreat. Shadowhunter gets up to level 6, and there's a Breath of Fire, but the Raider, that very low hit point Raider, still ends up surviving. Yeah, down to 2 hit points after the Orb of Venom doesn't finish him off. Alright. What is unfolding here? Voodoo Lounge, spiked barricades, fortified positions. Night Elf army. Simply Hunter just going to try and make a move here. He thinks that he has some sort of play, but he really doesn't. No, he's down 2 bases. His army is smaller. Or, yeah, his hero levels are behind. He does have superior tech, but that's pretty much it. We see a couple of Demolishers joining in on the battle, so there is dual barracks for Demolishers now as well. Shadowhunter is sitting at level 3. We're going to see some ranged damage going down against all of these units. Perhaps they really should be going after these Druids of the Talon. Cyclone picking up some units. There's level 5 now on that Keeper of the Grove. There's another Bladestorm. And yeah, the Bladestorm looking to slice and dice its way through a bunch more units. Is going to be able to find another Druid of the Claw. There is that Druid of the Claw. Scroll of Healing not enough to recover all of that damage as the Demolishers with Liquid Fire, or able to cause, is it liquid or burning oil? Excuse me. No, Liquid Fire is the Troll Batriders. Burning oil able to cause the Druids of the Talon to constantly try and shift. Shadowhunter falls at level 6, however, and now the Blade Master is still out of commission. So Shadowhunter falls at level 6. Demolishers do not represent that big of a damage once the Druids of the Talon get within range. Druids of the Talon are actually fairly strong because of their magic damage, able to take down one Demolisher, able to take down another. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? Yes. Perhaps try and take down even more, but the burning oil is still racking up a little bit of damage. There goes another. Goblin Tinker now gets up to level 4. But Simmons still wins the game, as Simply Hunter has left even after all that. Leveling up to level 4 still not enough. We know the economy and what it mattered. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.